Got it! Touchdown! ABC Sports Championship Television.
Another great weekend of college football here on ABC. Welcome to Manhattan, Kansas, a spectacular fall day. And the #2 team in the nation is on hand here to take on Kansas State. Oklahoma, the team that got upset by Kansas State last year in the Big 12 championship game. Will it happen again? We're going to find out college football, and we're off to New York.
They're halfway home, but the question is, who's going to make it to the winner's circle? Will the top-rated Trojans continue to show their championship pedigree as they make the turn for home against unbeaten Arizona State? Can the Longhorns regain their stride after coming up short in their high-stakes duel a week ago? After stumbling out of the gate, will it be NC State or Maryland who keeps their long-shot hopes alive in their conference chase? Will Iowa or Ohio State show that closing kick to come from off the pace in the run for the roast? And from around the outside, will Kansas State once again derail Oklahoma's wire-to-wire attempt at a national championship run? It's the race we've been waiting for, and down the stretch they come.
Welcome to the Ford pregame, John.
Hey, Jim, thanks very much. We'll see whether or not that holds true. This is a very good Oklahoma team, and when we come back, it is really a treat today to have last year's Heisman Trophy winner on hand. That is Jason White of Oklahoma. But he's got a 19-year-old in the backfield with him who just may win the Heisman this year. We'll talk about it. He's carried 6 times 8 yards. 4 rushes of 1 or less so far. They fake it to him. White getting chased, looking to the end zone. Touchdown! Wide open, Travis Wilson. A 17-yard touchdown pass by White. That is his 10th touchdown pass thrown this year.
And Travis Wilson is the guy that the coaches really singled out the other day when we were talking to him. Just going to run a drag, and there's almost pressure coming from the backside as Bob Elliott blitzes Maurice Porter, the corner, but Peterson gets just enough of him and wide open. Whenever you blitz and it's a rollout with crossing routes, it is almost impossible for the defense. You've got to get there if you're going to blitz on that type of play.
That's 5 touchdown receptions for Travis Wilson. He leads the club in that department. Trey DiCarlo for the extra point puts it through. So a solid drive right there. There's Travis Wilson, the junior, who took that one in for the touchdown, and they've come back to tie this game up. 5 plays, 54 yards. It took only 2:48. And White went 3 for 3 in the air, 51, getting it up in the passing game. 7-7 here. Let's check in again with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Gary, thank you. Jamal Brown was
called by Kansas State. Seems to be coming up roses.
2nd down and 6. Ball at the 38-yard line as Kansas State moves into Oklahoma territory yet again out of the shotgun. Meyer looking over the middle. Get the big man open. Caught at the 5. Touchdown! Fingers!
Well, it's the old question of the chicken or the egg. Should I go through the body or should I play the ball? Rodney Poole played the ball, and Dylan Meyer, he's on. It's pinpoint. I mean, he could
a little bit. We are in Manhattan, Kansas. Great to have you with us. The #2 team in the nation, Oklahoma, trailing. They were down 7-0. They tied it. Kansas State has come back, put another one on the board, 14-7. And a shocker so far.
Yeah. And this is exactly what Oklahoma needs, though, is a nice, methodical. Their defense, not only does their defense need a rest, they need a good stern talking to about where to line up. They have been just on the back end especially. They just have not been in the right place.
Scott Edmonds just limped off of the Wildcat defense. White deep in the pocket and looking deep down at the 20. He's got a man open, caught, and down inside the 15 is Travis Wilson. Wilson caught the touchdown pass, and both of these secondaries are being tested deep.
And Maurice Porter turned his head right at the wrong time. It's so hard when you're playing deep. You're running with Travis Wilson. He was with him stride for stride, and he just decided at the last possible moment to peek back. And that's right. You know, a good receiver they're going to glide through that part of their route. They're not going to go full speed, so that when the ball's in the air, they have that extra little step. And, of course, great air put on the ball by Jason White allowed Travis Wilson to run through it.
A 41-yard gain. First down and 10. Ball at the 14. Oklahoma trying to get this game tied up again. Peterson, the lone setback. He'll carry 15. What was that? And driven out of bounds. It looked like the ball started running the other way. Cedric Williams takes him for a yard loss.
As he tries to put this ball away. He had a fumble last week against Texas, but there was no harm, no foul as the ball went out of bounds. Whoa, a little slippery. Well, it's a home crowd. I wonder if they sprayed it with WD-40 before they sent it out for the Oklahoma possession.
And a second down and 11. Heisman Trophy winner Jason White, 6 for his last 6. 105 yards and a TD. He goes to the shotgun here. 2 receivers set to the near side. Wilson to the left. White looking right back for Wilson in the end zone. Open touchdown. Boy, he's just running by people. They keep overloading one side and have Wilson on the other, and he's had 2 receptions.
Well, and they're rolling the coverage to the 2 and 3 receiver side, and this time again it's Maurice Porter on the coverage. And if you're going to be one-on-one, you cannot give the middle of the field away. That is just a brilliant move by Travis Wilson, though. You can't take that away. I mean, Maurice Porter should have been set heavier inside, but Wilson, he tapped him and then he broke back hard inside. And again, the bell cow of this receiving core is Mark Clayton, but the coaches talked just as much about Travis Wilson.
And that kick is up, and it is good. So they've come back to tie this up. Another touchdown pass. White on the money. Travis Wilson, his favorite target here today. Here, Oklahoma will take the 17-14 lead, and we'll go down to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Bob, what's your assessment of your team's first half?
Well, I'd like to have played better. We got ourselves in a hole early, started to play some defense in the second quarter. Offense has moved the ball some. We got to get a running game going.
Why all the penalties and the problems in the secondary?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, the penalties, hey, you know, it's I guess we're just not disciplined enough not to get them.
Bob, thank you. Good luck in the second half. Gary?
And obviously not very happy about it either. Oklahoma's got the lead 17-14 at the half. Coming up next, the Valvoline Halftime Show. John, Craig, and Aaron will be along after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching Championship Television. Great to have you with us. Manhattan, Kansas is the site. And a team here at Kansas State not given much of a chance of being in this football game against number 2 Oklahoma is making a race of it with 9:59 left to go here in the third. Over 50,000 on hand. Ed Cunningham, Jim Gray, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. Jones in, a receiver, 1st and 10, ball at the 27. Out of the shotgun, White looking for him, intercepted. Gonna take this one in. Brandon Archer, touchdown. The 6th interception the Wildcats have had this year. Archer takes that one back for the touchdown. A 28-yard return, extra point, and Kansas State, with a huge turnover by Oklahoma, has taken the lead back. Joe Ream puts it through the uprights. White's pass was on, but it was a purple uniform that got it, his first career TD. Well, of that time, it brings up a 2nd down and 11. Loss of a yard on the play on the spot. Again, out of the shotgun. Jason White, 3 receivers to the left side, fakes the draw, goes to the flats. Wide open at the 10, to the 5, and touchdown! Mark Clayton, the TD and a 15-yarder.
If you don't come to balance and get the weight of your body over your feet as you go to make a tackle, Mark Clayton makes you look goofy every single time. It's a special, special player. This is a guy that when he gets to the next level, they will do the same thing that Chuck Long has done. Find ways to get him the ball as quick as possible. You don't need to run. He's fast enough to run deep, but keep him around the line of scrimmage.
That is his 29th career touchdown. As we said, he averages about 1 a game. That kick is up, and it is good. So they put it through as DiCarlo puts it in, and the seesaw battle continues here as Oklahoma gets back up on top.
And they don't even have a chance to do this if Bob Stoops doesn't do a message to the team on that 4th and 2 and go for it instead of kicking the Trey DiCarlo. I mean, common sense tells you getting towards 5 minutes of the third quarter, you stop, you kick a field goal down there. But I think it's an excellent mental call and a message to his team. And maybe that's finally the alarm may be going off for Oklahoma.
Clayton out of Arlington, Texas. He was in the final 3 for the Bolitnikoff Award last year for college receivers, and in all likelihood is going to be there and maybe take it home this year.
Yeah, and Arlington, Texas is in the running to maybe build the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and I'm sure there's some fans in and around the Dallas area that like to see number 9 out there with Keyshawn and all of those great receivers. This guy is just so good after the catch.
Great drive right there. 10 plays, 74 yards, took 4.5 minutes. And they had that big 4th down conversion Ed was talking about, and they are back on top, 24-21.
You know, Jason White, we were speaking.
4th down and 3. Martinez standing back at his own 40-yard line. And he fumbled it. And Oklahoma's got it in great field position in Kansas State territory. And again, a big
huge
toss-up right there as Burdine came on and recovered it.
Well, and special teams all year long. Darren Sproles has been benched as the punt returner. He took his eye off it. He's looking at the rush. That is such a huge mistake. They used 2 punters here. Tim Ryer, who's a true freshman, and Jesse Martinez, who's a junior college transfer. And Meyer, believe it or not, is true freshman, is the more consistent performer. And that time Martinez took his eye right off the ball, and another huge foul up on special teams. You just get a feeling it's going to be very costly.
He may have been thinking about doing something besides punting.
Maybe.
They're going to let the clock run out here in the 3rd quarter. And number 2, Oklahoma hanging on. Kansas State making a surprising game of it as they are down just 24-21. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American Revolution. Pacific Life, offering insurance, annuities, and investments. Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. And Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Well, Oklahoma lived pretty manly during that drive with Peterson. But now the slant has been the pass in this down and distance that Jason White has loved. They need to set inside hard corners for Kansas State.
This is going to be a 3rd down and 4. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line out of the shotgun. Jason White back looking. Receivers near side into the end zone. Complete touchdown. He's done it again. And Mark Clayton, his favorite target, takes it for an 8-yard TD. With 7:06 to go here in the 4th.
Yeah, Mark Clayton's kind of a security blanket, isn't he?
He gets open and he catches the football.
Jason White plays Linus. And Mark Clayton plays the blanket. He's just always there. And these guys have been working together for so long. We're on the scout team together years ago. Their timing is impeccable.
Big touchdown drive right there. Extra point. They'll go after it here. DiCarlo on the kick. It is up, and it is good. So Oklahoma takes a 31-21 lead. Clayton on the reception. 12 plays, 78 yards. They ate up 5 minutes, 12 seconds, and ended on this catch in the end zone.
From about the middle of the 3rd quarter, they started looking like a top 2 or 3 team because they just walked through the first half. They had misalignments in their secondary. They had missed blocks at the point of attack. Peterson didn't get going until really the 4th quarter. So take the win, but there's a lot to learn from this ball game for Oklahoma.
Peterson ends up with 130 yards on 36 carries in this game today for the 19-year-old. That's going to do it. Kansas State at home. The loser, Oklahoma, wins it. Our final score, 31-21. ABC Sports online at abc.com. Keyword ABC Sports. Stay tuned. Part 2, ABC's college football doubleheader coming up next. For Rod Cunningham, Jim Gray, and all of our crew, thanks very much for joining us. A lot more football to come. From Kansas, I'm Gary Thorne. Catch you later.